Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. Thank you for joining me on this episode of True Crime Past and Present. On this episode, I want to discuss the case of the three teenagers accused of beating a stepfather to death for molesting their little sister. It's a very riveting case. It's very controversial at this point, and I'm very interested in it and what your thoughts are. So let's dive in. So currently, there is a petition out there to free the teenage brothers and their friend accused of killing their stepfather for allegedly molesting the 9-year-old sister. Now, the case goes as follows. The McAllen Police Department found 42-year-old Gabriel Quintanilla, who suffered blunt trauma to the head. Now, the accused are his stepsons, Alejandro and Cristian Treviño, 18 and 17 years old, and their 18-year-old friend, Juan Eduardo Melendez, and they're accused of beating him to death. Now, the police chief, Andy Harvey, told reporters that the brothers did admit there had been a fight because they discovered that Gabriel Quintanilla had assaulted his own biological 9-year-old daughter. Now, there is, again, this is alleged, but there is also a prior arrest warrant for Quintanilla's arrest for the same thing, a different minor, different assault that occurred from 2014 to 2016. And quote unquote, the police have been unable to find and arrest him since then. He's been so elusive, according to the police. Now, according to the investigators, this is what occurred on that day. The brothers confronted their stepfather at his trailer park home, and a fight broke out, during which Quintanilla left his house. Now, Alejandro followed, and then another fight broke out. Then Christian and Eduardo caught up to them, and then it becomes like a 3 against 1 kind of situation. They left him beat up, but he was still conscious and walking. So then the boys changed cars and came back and looked for him. Now a third fight broke out. But this time Christian had brass knuckles. At this point, they severely beat him to the point where he either was unconscious or close to it, allegedly. Then the boys loaded Quintanilla on the back of the truck and dumped him in a field. Now, when police found him, he was still breathing and he was unconscious, but then he later died at the scene. Now, the teens are charged with aggravated assault and engaging in organized criminal activity. And then Christian and Juan Eduardo are also charged with capital murder, as they think they delivered the fatal blows. Now, this brings me to the question, are they truly guilty? Now, in the eyes of the law, of course, right? They took the life of another human. But was the reason enough, or is the reason enough to let them loose? Remember, allegedly, he was essaying his 9-year-old biological daughter. which is the boy's stepsister. Now, in the eyes of society, did they bring justice to these kids? Now, this is my opinion only. I think they did. Because if we think about it, apparently the police was looking for him and they couldn't find him because he was so elusive. And he was able to commit the same crime he was accused of the first time. So, what safety was brought to the kids? No safety was brought to them. And what makes us think that if he did survive the assault, he was going to get any time in jail? He was probably going to get some type of sympathy, right? And usually these criminals don't get that much time. So again, is this justice? What I mean, this is I don't know if I would have killed somebody, but I know I would have wanted to cause harm to somebody that hurt my own child. So I can only imagine what these boys were thinking. The rage that was brought on knowing what occurred to their little sister, right? I mean, and it was three different fights that happened. I'm wondering if there were any words exchanged during these fights. And that's why these kids kept getting more upset and coming back and hitting him harder and harder. I mean, it's not right, of course, like I said. In the eyes of the law, it's not right. But what kind of punishment should they receive? Should it be just probation, mental health? What could it be? Right. And so, like I said in the beginning, there is a petition going around. The petition is to be given to the governor of Texas. So, to Greg Abbott, asking that they release all three kids. Because even though two of them are 18 years old, they're still kids. And then all three are being held on a $1 million bond. Then I'm thinking, I wonder if the perpetrator, not the, I'm sorry, the victims, are they sleeping better now, knowing that this monster won't be back, right? So tell me, what are your thoughts? Was this justice? Are they innocent in the eyes of society? Why? And why not? Go ahead and consider sharing, subscribing, and liking this video. I would really appreciate it. And until then, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.